Jesus, this is brutal. Take 4. Gonna get it. What's up, everyone? I'm Andy, and this is Brain Buzz. This week, I'm doing part 2 of the THC Variety Pack by Northbound Cannabis. So we'll be reviewing 2 carts this week. One today, one tomorrow. Today, I'm specifically looking at the Mimosa Skittles cart. And yes, that is how they spell it. That is Mimosa and Skittles. They even printed it that way on the little ring that they included. I suspect they do that for Google searches, because if you searched for the words Mimosa and Skittles, you probably wouldn't find their cart. But if you search for this, you will. So this week, I'm not doing an unboxing. We did that last week. Go take a look at that video if you want the unboxing. So I'm going straight into the taste. Let's turn the battery on. There you go. And it's on the highest temperature setting. So let's give it a try. It's very orange. I'll say that right at the beginning. It was like 90% orange peel. Started going bitter at the end, so started tasting a little more like grapefruit. And there's a little bit of earthiness coming in at the end here. And some herbal notes, maybe sage I'm tasting. Pretty typical Mimosa flavored cart. I was expecting a little more fruit coming in from their Skittles cross, but it's not bad. I'll taste it again, see if the same thing happens as the last cart and it starts changing taste as I keep using it. Let's find out. It did change a little bit. I'm starting to wonder if these carts aren't mixed very well, or if they're separating somehow. I'm not sure. This one was definitely more bitter, more earthy, had some cannabis flavors coming in, mostly peppery herbal notes. Again, I'm tasting sage, maybe pine, definitely pine. And then it kind of lands on earth tones at the end. It's not bad. I'm really curious to see. I'm going to try again, just because I want to see if it changes again. No, it seems like it's settled more or less on the same flavors I talked about the second try. So, yeah, it's more cannabis flavored than I expected. Most of these Mimosa carts tend to lean very heavily on the orange flavors. This did on the first inhale, and then not since. So, I'm going to keep using this. I'll be back and see if the flavor changed, and then I'll also tell you about the feel and the effects. All right, I'm back. It's been about an hour now, and I've been using the Mimosa Skittles cross regularly. Let's talk about the taste first, since it's the last thing I spoke about. It kind of leveled off and became, like I talked about at the end, more or less a cannabis-forward type of flavor, with herbal notes, sage, pine, earthiness, combined with orange peel and other citrus notes. It's pretty nice, actually. Once the initial hit of orange peel burned off, then it became a fairly well-balanced cart. For the feel, this one is really great, which is a relief compared to the other cart I just did. This one is fine. I'm having no issues breathing. There was a little bit of dryness in the throat, but not much. Overall, really good. And finally, onto the effects. Because this has the Mimosa strain in it, it is a sativa-leaning hybrid. So I have a very awake feel. I have lots of energy. I was able to concentrate and do things. My concentration was a little bit distracted. This is a hybrid after all, and my head is buzzing. But primarily, this is a very awake and energetic head buzz type of feeling. So there is a lot of buzzing going on in my head. There's some numbness on the scalp and around the crown of my head. No tension whatsoever though, which is always nice when you have a head buzz. So overall, really, really great so far. So this is where I'm ending the review for now. Tomorrow I'm going to review the other one, and then I'll stitch them together and give my final verdict. Hey, it's day 3 and it's time to try the third cart in the series. So today I'm going to be trying the Gelato Runtz cross. Now it's the one I'm most curious to try. So I have it loaded in my vessel battery. Let's turn it on. And of course it's on the highest temperature setting. So let's give it a taste. I'm honestly not sure what to make of this one. It definitely has that gelato flavor, but it's kind of complex. There's a lot going on, and the flavor is fairly mild compared to the other 2 carts. So, some of the stuff I'm tasting. Initially, there's like a sweetness and a bit of fruitiness. Then it becomes bitter. There's some orange peel maybe in there. Then it's kind of herbal, earthy. Maybe even a little hint of mint in there. There's a lot going on. I'm going to have another taste and see if I can narrow that down at all. There's a lot of bitterness on this one that is making it, I won't say unpleasant, but it's a less enjoyable experience because of it. Ooh. It is really heavy on the chest too. I'm almost at the point of coughing, but not quite there. So it's similar to the first cart. It's kind of dry in the throat and really, really heavy, kind of tingling in the chest right now. Yeah, not much else to say about the taste other than what I said. It's really bitter, unfortunately. But then all of those other flavors are kind of there in small ways throughout as well. Whether or not you like this will probably come down to you and your personal preference. I'm kind of on the fence right now. But I'm going to keep using it, and then I'll come back and tell you about the feel and the effects. Alright, it's been about 2 hours, and I've been using the Gelato Runtz cross regularly. Let's talk about the taste. It didn't really change from before. It's fairly bitter, but it is also so mild that I kinda don't care, I guess. It's not a flavor that I would go and seek out, but also it doesn't really bother me. The feel is exactly as I described earlier when I started choking. It's very heavy on the chest, the throat is very dry, so I may have to pause and cough, we'll see. So let's move on to the effects. This one went on a bit of a journey, so it came in fairly strong, fairly quickly, but started primarily as a head buzz. That moved onto like full body tingling. So there was some body numbing going on the surface. But here's the really weird part. I wouldn't say this is great for pain relief in any way, because I kind of hurt my trap earlier when I worked out, and as soon as this kicked in, everything in my shoulders started burning really badly. So if you're thinking of something for pain relief, this is maybe not it. Maybe that was just my experience, I'm not sure, but I wanted to mention it just in case. After all of those kind of effects mellowed, it became more or less just a very uplifting, happy buzz. I would even say a little bit creative. So this could be used if you need a little lift, if you're feeling depressed. Just don't use it if your muscles are sore. All right, I'm going to go away and think about my final verdict, and then I'll be back to give it in a moment. All right, it's time for my final verdict. Can I recommend the THC Variety Pack by Northbound Cannabis? Unfortunately, the answer is no. There are too many glaring issues that I just can't overlook. For one, the mix seemed off somehow. Like, I burnt off all the flavor on the first cart on the first 2 inhales, and then the rest of the cart tasted like bitter cannabis. Most of them just seemed to fluctuate taste as I used it. Now, I'm hoping that's because this is a new product for them, and maybe they didn't quite get their quality control in check yet. We'll see as time goes on. But for now, it meant that this was kind of a pretty bad experience. The feel was also kind of bad on at least 2 of the carts. So there's not a whole lot for me to enjoy here other than the effects. And the effects can be replaced with other carts. So it's up to you to decide if you think it's worth the money to try this variety pack. If you do end up giving it a try, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. Let me know which one you thought was best. I'll be back again next week with another review. I'll see you then.